Welcome everyone back to our class. Oh, you are really study hard. Ever wondered what makes your immune system tick? Or maybe what happens when it gets a bit too ticked off? Let's dive into the enigmatic world of interleukin 18, or IL-18. It's been hiding in plain sight, first noticed way back in 1989, initially known as IFN-γ inducing factor, but its full story is far more complex. So who are the cool kids making this IL-18 protein? It's not just the usual immune suspects like macrophages and dendritic cells throwing a party. Nope, even skin cells, keratinocytes, and gut lining cells get in on the action. And where do you find this stuff? Pretty much everywhere important: liver, fat tissue, muscles, skin. It's like the ultimate multitasker hanging out in all sorts of tissues. This wide distribution tells us IL-18 isn't just some niche player, it's deeply embedded in our biology, from fighting off invaders to keeping our metabolism in check. It's the kind of molecule that shows up at every critical meeting in the body. Alright, let's talk about superpowers. What can IL-18 actually do? Its main gig is boosting interferon gamma, or IFN-γ, which is the big boss for Thone immunity, our go-to defense against nasty bacteria and parasites. Think of it as the general rallying the troops. But here's the twist. It's not one-dimensional. When teamed up with IL-12, it's a pro-inflammatory powerhouse, activating natural killer cells and T cells. Yet, without IL-12 around, it can flip the script, nudging the immune system towards two responses, the ones involved in allergies. And get this, it even has a role in metabolism. Lack of IL-18 in mice leads to obesity and insulin resistance. It's like the Swiss Army knife of cytokines, versatile and sometimes a bit unpredictable. So how does this molecular maestro actually work its magic? First, it starts life as an inactive precursor, kind of like a locked safe. Caspase-1 acts as the master key, unlocking it into its active 18 kilodalton form. Then comes the receptor dance. It binds to IL-18R alpha, which then calls over IL-18R beta to form a high-affinity duo. This pair then kicks off major signaling pathways like NF-kappa B and MAPK, basically telling the cell nucleus, time to transcribe some inflammatory genes. But there's a bouncer at the door: IL-18BP, the natural inhibitor. It grabs onto free IL-18 with super high affinity, Knd equals 399 picomolar, preventing it from causing trouble. It's a delicate balance, activation versus inhibition, keeping the whole system in check. Now, let's bring it down to earth. Where does IL-18 show up in our lives? Well, in diseases like systemic juvenile idiopathic arthritis, SJIA, lupus, inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, and metabolic disorders, you'll often find elevated levels of free IL-18 floating around in the blood. It's become a key diagnostic marker, especially for SJIA. On the treatment front, blocking IL-18 with IL-18BP, like the drug Cytokine alpha, is showing real promise in clinical trials for these tough conditions. However, remember that dual nature? It can be both friend and foe depending on the context. This means targeting IL-18 alone might not always be enough. We often need combination therapies to tackle the complexity of these diseases effectively. That's the IL-18 story, a fascinating, multifaceted player in our health.